Okay, Stanley Plotkin. So I had to hurry and say, I've been saying it over. I had to go look real quick because I wanted to make sure I said this name, because if you haven't heard of him, go look up about it. It is, so I don't know if he's a scientist or if he is a CEO for science or what he is, but he is obviously making decisions over who to test on. And so where I saw him, he was being questioned, and certainly didn't seem like it was just a reporter. It seemed more like it would have been like a legal kind of thing. But so he was being questioned, and now he didn't answer all the questions. Some of them he would be like, well, I don't know, or something. But he was making some horrible decisions. Like, one of them was testing on the people in, I think they said Belgium. And this guy said, so you tested on 1 million people in that village or town or community or whatever he called it. And the guy was like, well, he goes, and that was 1 million people, right? And he goes, well, yeah. So he's as bad as the Fraud, for sure. This guy, he probably hangs out with them. Like, it was disturbing, the stuff that I saw in the clip I saw of what this guy was saying. So, I just feel so certain they're all going down, like, as we speak. That's why we're seeing this stuff. If they weren't going down, the stuff would be hidden. Some people, it's going to be their takedown, but I think so many people are missing. It's weird, is because the other day I saw this girl, and she's always doing, like, weird stuff. Like, she's showing footage of, like, ghost stuff or alien stuff or supernatural shows. She's really always showing stuff like that. And the other day she was like, have y'all noticed that everybody looks really weird? Like, nobody looks like themselves. She said, I was noticing my kids look weird. And then I started noticing I don't look like myself, which when I look at her, she looks the same to me. I don't see anything different. But I know exactly what she's talking about. And I keep seeing on YouTube, they have this little thing of shorts. And somebody has gone in and done all of these different actors and actresses, like, from the time they're young until older. So they do, like, this little montage thing. So they kind of, like, you watch them age. And I was watching some of those because some of them, like, they'll go across on my feed thing, and I'll see the person. I'll be like, that person looks so strange. That is weird. That does not look like that person. And Julian, Uma Thurman, hers, when I was watching hers, she does not look like she's the same person from when she was young. That was weird looking. Like, there's something with her eyes that are so different looking. When she was super young, she had, and the reason, okay, this is like a whole bunch of things. So, a couple weeks ago, I watched that movie of the girl who got the brain injury, and then she couldn't remember faces that they kind of morph. I don't know how to explain it, but you can look at one and then you look at them again if you don't know the people. Like, and this is the thing. So when she was having such a problem, because that is something that freaks me out too. Like, it's very, very strange, because you can be standing next to somebody and not know. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird. And there's so many people, like, who take you as being really rude because you don't recognize them. It's like your face doesn't look like I don't know. And then even if the face looks familiar, it's like, I don't know. Fuck, man. I keep seeing people who look so much like somebody else. Like, it's spooky. Like, I swear to God, they take the DNA of people they think are going to be successful. They grow some duplicates in a lab and then put them out there. There's something weird. And so this this person she went to see said, notice very specific things about their face. Look for something when you're talking to somebody about their face that makes it distinct, and then just focus on that. And so she did with the guy, and then she focused on his face, and he had a beard, and so she could keep recognizing him. And it was, a real surprise, because her other boyfriend couldn't handle it, because she couldn't recognize him. She couldn't even see him in the thing, which she should have been able to recognize clothes. At first, she tried using neckties to recognize, but anyways, it's a movie. So she was using something else to recognize, and then he shaved his beard, and then his face morphed, and she couldn't recognize it again. And so, I know that there's specific things, so I don't know if I start noticing more on certain people's faces or something. I'm not sure, because there was another thing I was going to interject about that. Shoot. Well, anyways, so with the faces, okay, well, now I'm lost. So when he shaved, then she couldn't recognize him again. And then, okay. So then on top of that, then I had seen this TikTok lady who was always doing these face breakdowns. So people send her faces, and she can tell about someone's personality. It's like, well, their eyebrows are very arched. That is a sign that they are looking up into the, like she does all this kind of stuff. It's a difference of how your mouth is placed, where it's placed, how it turns, your nose is pointed, is it round, is it crooked, is it straight, or your eyes go down, do they go out, like a whole thing. She does a whole thing about all this stuff. And so, I just had those certain little things on people's faces. And another thing too, as I had seen, is like, there's something about, like, if your eyes are like this, where your eyeball has white underneath. Now you can look up about it. It's weird. There's something, a thing about that. And it normally means that you're going to die soon or young or something. I don't know. I had just seen this. I've seen a couple things about it. But anyways, you can look up about it. But there's something weird about it. And so now, all the time, whenever I see somebody's face, I always notice this thing. Like, you start really noticing, like, things where people keep pointing out. And when that woman, the breakdown woman, was doing Britney Spears' face, then she said that is not the same person, because when she was a child, the way her eyes go down, like, there's like, I think her eyes were more like this, kind of like when she was a kid, they kind of went down a little bit. And the woman was saying that that doesn't change. You can't change stuff like that. There's certain things in your face that don't change when you age. Like ears suddenly growing together or coming apart. Like, that's a thing. They should have, when they made the mask, maybe they should have been a little bit more noticing things about that dickhead's face. God, he's such a dick. I really wonder who it is playing him, because he's such a fucking buffoon. So anyways, I just saw this picture yesterday. Somebody did. So, he has his company, because, there's all this whole thing. They got to draw attention to the absurdity of how much money we give. We all these people here starving, homeless, but here, let's give, you guys pay your taxes. We got to give them all to this guy over here. Now it's another 45 billion or something. It's like, we don't even have the money. It's all such bullshit. It's such ridiculous. And then that guy sitting there with his stupid speech, y'all are investing into fucking lab testing. Money laundering and fucking dealing with traffic, or maybe a harvest or two. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, seriously, I swear to God, I just bitch slap that little motherfucker. I guess I have a little bit of violent tendency inside of me at some time if I think someone is a murdering piece of shit. But sometimes some things have to be done. And that guy, but this thing of him, so it's from behind, and it's showing Joe standing, and then the little guy is in between the big guy and the little guy, and then Jill, the doctor's to the right, and